Hey, what's happening? So today this video is specifically for Kay, a good friend of mine. She requested I do a short video on the friend zone because apparently she's a girl and she's not used to being put in the friend zone. Apparently someone put her in the friend zone. So the friend zone is an interesting place. It's typically used for men. Being put in the friend zone is when a woman is very friendly with a guy but wants nothing more than that. And guys usually find themselves in the friend zone, which means no matter how hard they try, they're not getting in her pants. Although she will treat them nicely. They'll do things together, even hang out. And which for the guy just generates more attractiveness to her. For the guy who wants more. So when this works the opposite way, when a girl gets put in the friend zone, which is probably much more rare, but first understand that the friend zone basically has nothing to do with whether or not the person is not attractive, the person being put in the friend zone, that is. It doesn't mean they're unattractive. It doesn't mean that they are, bad or undesirable in any way. It just means that to the person who put them in the friend zone, their sexual marketplace value, in other words, the reason why you would want to have sex with them isn't valued enough to get to that point. And there's different reasons for this, and it could also be different reasons for the person putting them in the friend zone and the person being put in the friend zone. So for example, let's just use the guy's perspective since it happens more often, and then we'll kind of reverse roles into the woman's view. So for a guy to be put in the friend zone, it just means that he has lost his, or maybe he never had it, attractiveness to her to have sex. That could be because she knows him too well. It's almost like, he's like family. It could also be, for example, she really actually would like to have sex with the guy, but the fact that she dated his brother, for example, immediately kind of puts him in the friend zone. That's just an example. Not all the time. It doesn't mean that that's going to happen, but that's an example. Another example would be, and this I actually experienced being put in the friend zone because I had a high value on intimacy at one point, and this girl that I was dating did not have that much, I don't want to say that much value like she was sleazy, but she was just willing to sleep together and I wasn't. So she didn't want to be the person to kind of kick me off of my my moral pedestal, if you want to call it that. And it wasn't that, but that's how she viewed it. So that was her reasoning. And then of course, when that happened, I sort of lost interest myself because I realized that, well, I was trying to grow this thing organically, and when I realized she was a little more aggressive than I wanted to be at that time, then it was like, I kind of lost interest. So that sort of happens too. Now, flip roles when a girl gets put in the friend zone. Doesn't mean that she's not attractive, doesn't mean that she's undesirable, but for the same reason. For example, I have a good friend, used to date a really close friend of mine, and we became good friends through that. She's been friend zoned. As desirable, as attractive as she is, she's in the friend zone. And so that's pretty much it. It doesn't have to get much more simpler than that. But for women, they don't usually find themselves in the friend zone because apparently women, if women are attractive, they can usually get any guy to, the majority of guys, not any guys, but the majority of men will want to be with them sexually. And if they don't, that means there must be something wrong with the woman or something wrong with the guy. There's nothing wrong with anyone in the case of the friend zone. There's just different reasons why that happens. And those aren't all the reasons. There's probably an infinite number, but at least that changes the perspective that nothing's wrong with anybody. Very often someone will say, well, he's just jaded. He doesn't want to, get involved with a relationship. Or she's just, she's been damaged goods by her last relationship. Her last guy screwed her up, so for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't buy into all that. It's common, but when you look deeper, there's a second layer to the whole thing. And it's not that anyone is broken. Yes, they could be broken, but not beyond repair. It's like I use my old thing where you touch the hot stove. A stove is a useful piece of equipment. It can cook your food, it can purify water by boiling it, but if you touch it, it can burn you. You just have to respect it. So anyways, that's a whole different subject. Not to get off the subject of the friend zone, but in a nutshell, that's what the friend zone is. That's how girls and guys can fall into the friend zone. There's many different layers on top of this when it comes to the dynamics and the social relations and the psychology between men and women. Sometimes there's games played, so you're not actually in the friend zone, but you're made to feel like you're in the friend zone. Again, more layers deeper than we can go in a short video. But in a nutshell, that's it. So I hope you like it, Kay. You're beautiful. Don't worry about things. Nothing's wrong with you. And have a good day. Oh, it's Halloween, so happy Halloween. Ben Joni out.